So we're here today with Anne-Marie Guenther. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So why don't we go ahead and get started by just sharing a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Sure, my name is Anne-Marie Guenther. I am a professional organizer and owner of That Girl Organizes. My company began to evolve when a best friend who has moved 12 times in 15 years, moved 3 times in Downers Grove within 18 months, and I helped her with every single move, and she had 3 little girls in tow.
Wow.
I'd help her multiple times a week, and then it got to be so that I'd only help her every Tuesday. And typically my kids would get on the bus, I would run to her house, help her all day long, and then she'd say, all right, Anne-Marie, see you next Tuesday, thanks for the help. And it started to evolve where I would say, if you think I can leave that room for a week like that, that's going to drive me insane, there's no way. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And after a few times of that, she's like, if you really love this, you need to make this a business. And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, this is for me. This is what I love to do. I do it voluntarily. Why don't I get paid for it? So that's how I started.
Great. So, I mean, if you look back in your life, have there been signals and signs that led you to believe that this was probably a calling for you?
Unfortunately, I came from somewhat of a big chaotic family, and they are not the neatest people. They're having way too much stuff and just things all over the place. As a teenager, I would constantly go to the library and just simmer down, either do nothing or do homework, just to be in quiet and neat, clean places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of was in my brain all the time as far as everything needs to be organized and stay organized.
Nice. Yeah, usually there's something that leads up to, what you end up doing. And most of the time, the people that I'm talking to, they've got a passion for what they do, and it sounds like you're there. So besides your, besides, the people that led you to go into business, is there any, like who else qualifies you to be that professional organizer? Like, where do you get that designation from?
Well, I am a NAPO member, which means I'm a member of the National Association of Professional Organizers.
Okay.
And basically, it's just getting training all the time, taking classes, whether they're online or in person, doing public speaking, and just keeping yourself in the business, even if you aren't busy at the time, and just constantly hitting up organizers and people who are doing it.
Right. So, if you were going to describe a situation that you would walk into and it would just jazz you up, it would get you so excited, what kind of environment would that be?
Well, there's so many different venues. I really love helping seniors because they cannot do it. Typically, they are physically unable, and mentally they are so burdened with what has to happen next, and a lot of times there's an exciting transition in their near future. A lot of times they will call me saying, I have my son or daughter, I have this huge house, I have all this stuff, my spouse passed away, we need to downsize, I'm not feeling so great, don't want my kids to have to do this, please help me. And I can help them with, I have connections with real estate people, I have connections with estate sale people, clean out people, haulers, and I usually help them get together what they absolutely love and use all the time, and the rest of it we disperse, donate, get rid of it somehow.
Well, that's got to be pretty gratifying.
It is. I absolutely love helping people. I was so sad last November, this older lady called me and she said, oh my gosh, Anne-Marie, she goes, I need your help so bad. And I said, well, what's going on? She goes, I can't even walk in most of my house. And right away I thought, ooh, could be a very bad situation. I don't know if I'm qualified for this. Well, she was a little bit of an over-exaggerator. But for her, it was debilitating. She was very depressed about it. And she said, I can't even put up my Christmas tree this year. And I said, I'll tell you what. I said, I won't charge you. I'll come over for an hour. Please let me clear out that room. Let's put up that Christmas tree. Well, she's a little bit, strong in her ways, and she would not let me do it. But I have been helping her for months now, just clearing out her house.
Nice. So that was going to be my next question. What you're talking about doing is coming into an intimate setting most of the time, right? And
Yes.
it's got to be tough for people to ask for help. So what are some of the recommendations that you would have to kind of help them get to the point where they're asking for help?
That's a hard question, Jeff.
Yeah, it's got to be.
A lot of times people, they want the help, but they don't know how to ask, or they're asking and then they don't really know what they want. So I kind of guide them mostly into keeping what is absolutely functional, what is beautiful and makes them happy, and what they need on a daily basis. Trinkets, other things, we can take pictures of them. I can teach them how to do an online scrapbooking. There's lots of apps that are free or nearly free. A lot of kids' artwork, we don't need to keep any of that. We can dummy down everything into small little bits. And I try to help them just relieve themselves and, forgive themselves. Hey, I bought that. I might have spent $1,000 on it, but it's not making me happy. So let's bless someone else with it, or let's sell it. I just don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's, so if you're talking to other people out there that might, need some assistance, what's the best way to engage you, for help?
A lot of people like to email me because it's not so confrontational, especially the men. They don't really want to talk to me. They don't want to have a face-to-face until they know a little bit more about me. You can research me on my website, which is thatgirlorganizes.guru, or they check out my That Girl Organizes Facebook page. They get to know me a little bit through there, and then they'll email me a few questions, and then they'll say, hey, I need your help. I don't need a consultation. Let's get going. Typically, for the men, it's an office or the garage. And a lot of men don't want to admit they can't clean the garage themselves, or they don't want to.
How do you do that? How do you get into the man's world and say, how do you break that guy down? Or does he just finally just come to you after being on your website for a little while, and do they just finally break down? Or, what are some of the things you do to kind of break into that world?
Typically, it's just in a light, joking matter. I'm pretty funny about things, and just, say, oh, I bet your wife was nagging you, or, oh, so your mom came into the house and told you needed to take care of that, didn't she?
Right.
Like that. And, they usually nod and smile, and we just keep moving. And it's a lot easier to do things with someone than without. Or if someone's having and hawing over something, I say, nope, you obviously don't love it. It's out of here. And they'll say, oh, okay. It's just taking care of business and doing it in a swift manner and having fun.
Nice. Yeah, I just put myself into that situation. It's got to be. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that will probably wait until, okay, now I need help.
Yeah, it's the offices. The home offices are big because typically people leave it kind of trash, don't really deal with it, shut the door at the end of the day, and they just don't care.
Right.
But a lot of people realize after you spend, an hour or two with me in an office, or it could be 4, depending on how messy it is, just getting it organized, it'll save you time and money instantly every day.
Excellent. So how do you stay on top of your game?
Staying on top of my game. I have somewhat of a schedule. I will only spend half an hour online in the morning, checking any email, Facebook, getting things posted really quick, and then I walk away. I also have something called Hootsuite, and I use the free version. So I put in everything for the month that's going to list on Twitter, and I have it instantly go to Instagram, my Twitter account, and my Facebook page. So everything downloads and I don't have to think about it. If I want to move something onto my website or elsewhere, I can do that physically. But those at least are automatic, and then I don't have to think about it on a daily basis.
Nice. So, that kind of keeps you organized.
Definitely. And I just try to get things done mostly when the children are in school, because then I don't have to worry about sitters. But then again, on the weekends, I do have clients who want weekend help, which is fine too. And then I have someone to take care of the children during the weekend.
Excellent. So, it sounds like you're in a very gratifying role, being in a position where you just eliminate that clutter, and I'm sure people feel excellent after you're done. I mean, can you describe, any particular circumstance where people, just were ecstatic with what you did?
Yes, in fact, last week I have an older lady who's retiring, and she is moving to North Carolina. She and her husband have decided to take their square foot townhouse and just move. And she said, okay, I'm getting ready to sell. What do I need to do? She's like, all right, I need to pack some things. I need to get the house staged, and I need to donate a whole bunch of stuff. I said, okay, let's do it. And after 12 hours, 2 days, she's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Her husband was out of town, so she got him, She got him on the computer, and panned the room. And he's like, holy cow, how did you do that? And she's like, you've got to meet Anne Marie. She's amazing. She still has to do our upstairs in our bedroom. But this is fantastic. I wouldn't have been able to do this myself in 3 months.
Excellent. Yeah, that sounds excellent. So, if you're sitting across from someone else, and it sounds like you've had some good experiences so far, being an entrepreneur, being out on your own, is there any advice that you would give to anybody else contemplating making that same move?
You mean contemplating making the move as being organized, or contemplating?
Well, no, going into business and, obviously being organized at the same time. But.
Okay. Have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you do some research, but don't go crazy with the research, because you can definitely do too much. You're always going to find people who are poo-pooing what you're doing. I've had more than my fair share, but I know what I want and I know it's going to work. You have to know that too. If you're contemplating and going, I don't know, or if you're going to cry and whine about everything that goes wrong, forget it. Don't even bother.
Right.
You just have to get what you want and know what you want and do it.
Yeah, because things aren't always easy, right?
Absolutely not.
You got to prep for the ups and the downs.
Exactly. And you will have more ups than downs, but you need to just prepare for those downs and deal with it and move on.
What keeps you going now during those moments?
I would say my husband is a huge supporter. He is behind me with everything I do. He is not super crazy about how much it has cost me to get this business going, but honestly, in the whole spectrum, it has not been very much. I repaid myself. We took money out of our savings account in the beginning, and I've repaid myself within 4 months, and that was with very little business. So I think that's a fantastic start. Now I feel like I'm completely on my own and just bulldozing through things the best I can. And I just feel I've been blessed so many ways, and everything is just coming to me, more ideas, more people I meet. I'm just meeting the right people and focusing on where I need to be instead of being all over the place.
Excellent. So speaking of meeting the right people, we're both a part of the Co-opvertising Network, right?
Yes.
So, if we're looking out into the group and we see an opportunity to kind of use the group to either help, or maybe we can help the group, what are some of the ways that you feel a group can help grow your company and vice versa?
I think anyone who is a realtor or knows of realtors, anyone who knows of a senior who is going to be right sizing, anyone who knows senior centers or senior services would be very helpful to me. And anyone, who's a therapist or knows of therapists who lives in chaos and just wants to get organized and stay organized.
Excellent. So if they know those people, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
My website is thatgirlorganizes.guru, and you're welcome to check out my Facebook page at That Girl Organizes.
And do you have a phone number?
I do. It's 630-673-3637.
Excellent. Well, that's all the time we have today, Anne Marie. It's been excellent talking with you today.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And, for the rest of you guys, we'll see you online. Thanks.